This article is from the Daily Mail. There it is. I remember to shout them out. I always have trouble remembering to shout out article like headers and stuff. I mean to do that, but it says there's a special place in hell for her. Bella Hadid's mother, Yolanda, is slammed. That's all caps, slammed online for allowing the model to get a nose job when she was just 14 years old, and it is revealed that she now regrets her decision. 14 years old. So a year after 13, you're not 15. You're like still 2 years from getting a driver's license. I mean, you're barely into puberty right at that point. So that is very, very scary. So it says Bella, 25, opened up about getting the procedure during an interview with Vogue magazine. She admits that she regretted going under the knife. So it says Bella Hadid's mother, now she's the one, her sister's Gigi, right?
Yeah.
Gigi. I had never heard of them until like a couple years ago. I don't know why. Because they've been around apparently for a long time. And
they started dating some big names.
That must be it.
It's also, Gigi was the one that made a slightly, very offensive mockery of Melania Trump too.
Oh, really?
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I missed that.
Yeah, so she was trending when Trump was still president because of it.
Okay. So Bella Hadid's mother, Yolanda, has come under furious fire for allowing the model to get a nose job at the age of 14. Bella, now 25, who previously denied getting any work done, recently opened up about getting the procedure during an interview with Vogue, admitting for the first time that she went under the knife as a teenager while voicing her regret at ever undergoing plastic surgery. Now, I would like to know, does she regret ever going under plastic surgery, or does she regret going under plastic surgery that young? I have to assume that if they allow this to happen, that your core architecture there is already done developing. I feel like it wouldn't be an allowed procedure if it was going to affect your facial development. Does that make sense?
That is an interesting question. I actually don't know. I don't think that you're done developing by the time you're 14.
Well, I know your brain doesn't. Your body's still growing, but is your skeletal structure? How does that work? Like, that's very interesting to me. Like, you'd think that they would. I'm guessing they caution heavily against it. Against doing this.
Yeah, I wonder how they made this happen.
But you guys have to also remember Kylie Jenner, so Kim Kardashian's youngest sister. She got surgery done on her lips at age 17.
But that's just like injections, right? That's like Juvederm or whatever that stuff is that they inject into your lips. That's non-invasive.
She got fillers.
Okay,
yeah.
So less invasive.
That's a big deal. And she was a little older.
She was a little bit older, but then you guys,
they do this young.
They do it young. Like, there's a lot of women in Hollywood or in LA and California in general who do it at a young age. I know, like, this one girl, her name is the Beverly Hills Brat, and she got work done, I think, around the same age as Bella. And then same thing with Beverly Hills Princess. She got it before she was 18. She got a total of $100K.
Well, that could just be be a couple of operations. I mean, that's probably like two operations. No insurance covered.
She got a lot of it done. Like, she tried to make herself exactly how like Kim looks, like that. Everybody has like a standard look. Right now, it's the Kim look.
Yeah.
So it says, now many people have bashed the runway star's mom, Yolanda, who's 58 years old, for allowing her teenage daughter to get cosmetic surgery at such a tender age, with some even accusing the former reality star for encouraging the then 14-year-old's desire to alter her appearance. I think those are valid criticisms. Given you're not, it's not like you know the family, so it's still outside looking in. But it says, so I over here on the side, it says the age restrictions for nose jobs. The minimum age for rhinoplasty procedures, aka nose jobs, varies in different parts of the world, with the general age being in the mid-teens with parental consent considered. Here in the UK, surgery can take place once the facial skeleton and bone is developed, generally around age 15 in girls. While the U.S., where Bella lives, it can be done as young as 13 or 14 in girls. Okay. So the science has changed or is very heavily influenced by whatever lobbying groups are used to influence. Because I'm guessing that these procedures are done by the American, the requirement would be American Medical Association, right? Would be what deems whether it's like, but which is then pressured by government organizations to pick an age that they believe is right. I'm assuming that there's pressure on all sides from both
sure.
government and private entities. So if we can't even decide on when a girl's face is done developing between countries, it just shows you how much of a crap show all of this is.
Agreed.
So we're going to go down here to the U.S. It says the American Society of Plastic Surgeons suggests rhinoplasty can be performed when the nose has completed 90% of its growth, which can occur as early as 13 or 14 and 15 or 16, 13 or 14 in girls, 15 or 16 in boys. So they're like, they don't make you wait till 100%.
Interesting.
That is very interesting. According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, rhinoplasty surgery can be performed before the age of 18. However, teens need a parent to sign a rhinoplasty consent form. And what I found is that this is the most common of teenage plastic surgery. This is from WebMD. It says teens and plastic surgery. It says why do teens seek plastic surgery? It just goes through all this stuff that talks about. It says according to the American Society of Plastic Surgeons and Reconstructives reconstructive surgeons in 2020, nearly 230,000 cosmetic surgeries and nearly 140,000 non-invasive cosmetic procedures were performed on teens ages 13 to 19. Some of the most, wouldn't that be 13 to 18? I guess, no, they're saying teens, so you're still a teen at 19. Some of these procedures include nose jobs. That's the first one they list. Nose jobs, correction of protruding ears, too large breasts, asymmetrical breasts, and scarring caused by acne or injuries. Like acne or injury scarring, that one makes sense to me. If your family can afford it, I guess I understand it. But most people, I feel like it used to be a virtue to teach someone to love yourself and be comfortable with who you are, imperfections and all. Other people will make the argument, like, if we have this technology, why not use it? I think it's more to me to do with your emotional development at that age, and you're not learning to deal with imperfections in a way that you have to be able to physically handle in the real world, because in the future, those imperfections are going to be related to things that you can't physically control.
Exactly.
That kind of reminds me, like, this is kind of on subject and off subject. Like, little girls, like, it was popular in the UK. Parents allowed, like, their kids even younger than 14 to get surgery to cut off their labia lips because they felt like it looked
I wasn't ready for that.
Well, that was kind of unexpected.
Sorry, like,
is that like a cultural thing?
No, it's because you know how porn, it's
stink bug.
The stink bug didn't like that conversation either.
He's like, shh.
That was Smithers.
Yeah, he's keeping an eye on you.
Yeah, so basically like, porn is like a open thing now that people can access for free, and like, I think little kids have access to it and they see it, and that's why they ask their parents, can I get it like cut, because like
that's extremely disturbing.
That's so wild.
And like, some of these parents do say yes, and like some
What's
doctors
wrong with people?
Some doctors are okay with it, others have like spoken out about it, and they're like, no, you tell your kids they're gonna grow out of it, because like, they don't realize what you see there is not the same thing like you down there.
Stop exposing your kids to that.
I
How
know
about that? Jeez.
Yeah, so it kind of reminds me of that. Like, good for Bella that she got basically a surgery for her nose. Some people do it for cosmetic reasons, some for health reasons, but again, like, you need to tell your kids, like, you don't need it right now. Wait until you're a little bit older, where you grow into it, because like, the labia surgery basically was like the creepiest thing I ever heard.
Yeah,
and I couldn't believe, like, in Europe they actually passed it where it's like okay for them to do it.
I looked that up. Yeah.
Wait, so is it possible that the rhinoplasty they're talking about here could be breathing related for other people?
Some people it's because like it's a
That's what I'm saying. Like,
deviated septum.
So this could be. These might not all be cosmetic. It might be somebody with breathing issues.
Yeah, but that's called a septal restructure. I think. It's called
Okay, so it says down here. It says, what are the most common plastic surgery procedures for teens? The top one is rhinoplasty. It says nose reshaping or a nose job is the most common cosmetic procedure requested by teens. The nose must have reached its adult size before surgery can be considered. The nose is usually finished growing by age 15 or 16 in girls and age 16 to 17 in boys. Now, make note that what we're getting is two completely different stories here, because they let a 14-year-old do it, but here they're telling you that it's not even done growing until 15 or 16.
If you scroll down, though, it says the ASPS offers these guidelines for teens considering plastic surgery. The first point is that the teen must initiate the request rather than a parent
Yeah.
and must have realistic goals and expectations. So I'm curious if that's new or if that was in place when Bella went through with this, because she's like
That would've been
kind of blaming her mom for this.
That had been about 9
Well,
years ago.
She's
so
just embarrassed because people found out she lied about not being
She should have
worked
been
on.
honest then.
Well, like a lot
there
of
might have been like legal implicate. Maybe they just didn't want to deal with the fallout of it back then.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Like now it feels like it's more an afterthought. Like they'll be mad for a couple of days and people will move on. Whereas
Right.
if she was 18 when this comes out and they find out something like this happened, it could have more immediate consequences.
yeah.
So the other ones are otoplasty, which is ear pin back.
Yeah.
Maybe done by the age of 5 or 6. Chin
wow.
augmentation or reshaping of the chin in case you want to be Batman one day and you got to have that really like.
You
know,
guys
just-
have to remember a lot of these. If you read it, you tell your kids, don't worry about it now.
Yep.
Wait until you grow into it. Like the ear thing. Basically, you grow into your ears. Like
Yeah.
I met a lot of kids who had big ears and they didn't like it. They wanted to get that surgery, but they waited, and now it's
And then
like
it grew into it.
It's
it
not
grew
something
into
I
it.
ever even noted. Like, there's a couple of actors who have like really wide ears that until somebody pointed it out to me, I never noticed.
Well,
it bothers some people.
it
like,
does,
I just
but-
wear a hat. If I just wear a hat all the time.
Your headphones.
Well, no,
all the
or,
time.
or just like a
Yeah.
hat like this, it
Right.
covers up some space there.
There's
Perfect.
also
what
a
it
trick
is.
to like fix it. Like if you're a girl, you can wear your hair covering it, or like when you sleep on your side, you sleep on top of your ear instead of letting it frail out. Because like some
Interesting.
people don't
That would-
really pay attention.
How do they
to it.
do that? Like, what if they move? What if they
You do
roll over
this.
in their
You gotta,
sleep?
like, wrap
You
it,
do this,
I guess.
so
Oh, you wrap it.
No, so basically you
Just push it back.
You push it back and then lay down.
Huh. Weird.
That's
But what
the
if you
trick.
move?
yeah.
in your
I mean,
sleep?
sleep everybody
Well, a
sleeps
lot.
sleep.
Some people, because I watched this YouTuber, her YouTube channel is Tiff and Casey, I mean, and she talks about it because both of them have that ear problem, and she was like, yeah, that's how like I fixed it. I hated it when I was a kid, but
Wow.
You
you
like
basically
train it.
you have to train it
And
to mold, because your body, even though like you're older now, she's like in her 30s or early 40s, no,
Yeah.
30s, my bad, sorry Tiffany. Basically you train your body because your body is still moldable. So like even like your nose, or you remember the Mew treatment where you put your tongue on top of your roof to get a sharper jawline?
no, I don't know anything about that.
Oh,
yeah.
it was a weird trend
Thank
on
God.
TikTok. Like basically you do that. You put your tongue above on the roof of your teeth, and like it helps you develop a stronger jawline.
Muscles. Interesting.
Mhm.
How do you
Because
prove that? How do you prove that that's what caused
to
it?
try
Maybe
it.
you were just going to grow into that strong
knows? I don't know.
jawline.
maybe, but it's just weird. Like people have done it, but it takes years to do it, and like it will look weird because like you will have like a sharp little jaw right here.
Oh,
Weird.
weird.
Okay, so I just wanted to point this out. This is the third article related to this topic. It says Bella Hadid says she regrets her plastic surgery. I
Oh,
wish I had
boo-hoo.
kept the nose of my ancestors. See, no, I don't know if boohoo is fair here, because say she wanted this when she was 14 and you really, really wanted this when you're 14, it should have been her mom's job to say,
I
look,
know.
you don't need this surgery, or at the very least, you need to wait until you're old enough that you can make this decision for yourself.
Right.
But this is also 9 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
what was acceptable or popular for a Hollywood model is not the same as what is now considered in, right? Like you said earlier,
Yeah.
Kim is a look.
Kim is a look right now.
So what she 9 years ago, she has her face changed to match what she thinks is the standard for aesthetic beauty at the time, and now she sees that maybe what she was beautiful all along, and
Right.
which also falls in line with what is considered culturally beautiful right now.
Right.
And now she regrets that decision to change that.
Yeah.
So her mom should have said, look, maybe it costs you some work in the short term. You're not going to work as much right now if you're not going to have the nose that you think is perfect for your job. But maybe that's better than regretting something you can't take back.
Also,
down
I
the
don't
line.
appreciate
wise,
people
yeah.
around her, because there's another article that said Bella has like talked to Vogue about it. A lot of people called her the uglier sister.
That's so sad.
Yeah, the people have said that. She said that's really what people said about me.
Mm.
So I'm upset the people around her, because like it might be a reflection to
says that
that
right
at
here.
age 14.
Says, I was the uglier sister. I was the brunette. I wasn't as cool as Gigi, not as outgoing. Bella says, recalling opinions shared of the sisters. That's really what people said about me. And unfortunately, when you get told those things so many times, you do just believe it. Now, were
Yeah.
they saying this to her face, or was she reading this?
I think it's like
third person.
I think
don't
it's
know.
towards her face. If her family is really into looks, I think it's towards her face and also online too. Because at age 14, you don't really notice things until like people have pointed it out. Like for me, I had body issues. Like I always been like bigger, like on the bigger side, especially like my thighs. Yes, people, I do read your comments about it. Yeah, I had it throughout my life, and people like when I was younger have pointed it out. My
Right.
grandmother pokes fun at it too.
Yeah, my aunt poked fun at me too. for
Yeah,
sure.
so
Yeah.
it's kind of it does hurt because like we do know we're not blind to it. We do feel the chafing or like our sorry.
pants wear through. It's true.
Yeah.
I know it's a problem.
It's a really bad problem. We do know this, but it depends who's around them. I don't know. Like for me, I really hate the people around her.
Yeah, I think
I wish she had a better support system
If it-
and they
if-
told her like you can grow out into it.
If it's the
Definitely.
people in her life, that's awful. If it's online, you have to learn how
You
to just
have to.
deal
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
There's just no way around it in a world now that is increasingly. You're gonna be. It's people from the outside looking at you at a very superficial image of what your life actually is. You have to learn how to not give them the weight that they do. So, or just do what I do and just ignore it.
Yeah.
like
Works
it's
for me.
the best thing. Well, the problem is people they want the good stuff too. They want to read all the nice things people say, but to get to that, it's kind of like a junkie that needs to wade through all the side effects of
Yeah.
like you get addicted to that need to hear all the nice stuff people say. But to do that, you also have to scroll through all the bad stuff too.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think, at least for me, the best option is just to not engage in any of it
That's true.
and find it inwards. So.
There's
Yeah.
always one good comment out of the 1,000 bad ones.
Yeah.
I think the other argument is that there's 1,000 good ones, and then the one bad one is the one you'll end up
gonna ruin it.
focusing
Yeah.
on. So
Maybe.
that's what you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.
Bye.